Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Liza and today I'm going to talk about the topic of self-observation. So what it is. I keep on getting lots of questions from you guys on my social media pages asking me how can I find my true self? What is the best practice? What should I do in order to improve my certain behavior traits? How can I identify the areas on which I need to focus on? What should I do? And the simple answer I keep on telling everyone, you should start practicing self-observations. That's why in this video I'm going to talk about the practice of self-observation, what it is, how you can do that in everyday life, and why it's important to do that. Okay, let's start. So what is self-observation? In order to start talking about self-observations, I want to focus more on the term of self-knowledge. So the term self-knowledge is pretty self-explanatory. So it's knowledge of self. So lots of people, they actually want to know more about themselves. Who am I? What is my true self? So people want to find the answer to all those questions. And that's why we call it as a self-knowledge. The tool of self-knowledge is actually self-observation practice. For self-observation, we have two methods. Yes, it's not that simple at all. And in this video in particular, I'm going to talk about only one, but you can let me know in the comments below if you want to know more about another method. So the first method, and I'm not going to talk deeply about it in this video as I've said earlier, it's meditations. And the second one is what spiritual psychology call it as self-remembering. And let's talk more about this second method and how we can use it in our everyday life. Okay, so what is second method of self-observation? As I've said earlier, it's called self-remembering, and it's the way of observing ourselves in the course of some action or sense. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be intellectual, but the way we observe ourselves. When we practice self-observations, your attention is directed into two directions: what is outside and what is inside. So meaning that when you practice and with the time, you will be able to observe whatever is inside of you and whatever is around you. Why it's important to practice? When we regularly practice these two methods, we become more aware of ourselves. This is a completely different level of consciousness. With the time of your practice, you will be able to perceive way more things than you were able to perceive before. And it's true that the more our consciousness develops, the more things we can perceive around us and inside of us at the same time. Our consciousness becomes richer, it becomes wider, but for this to happen, we need to observe ourselves. So how can we do that? How we can actually apply that, how we can practice that in real life? Start paying attention to the more things around you. Let's say you go for a walk, don't put your headphones on, just go for a walk without music, seeing and observing what is around you, what other people are doing, your feelings, your emotions. Maybe you will start noticing the things you have never thought about, you have never noticed before. Maybe you will go to your same road, you walk on this road, on this path every single day, but only now you start seeing the things you haven't seen before. So that's one way. Start paying attention to your thoughts, to your words, and to your actions. What you think, what you say, and how you actually do it and you act. So maybe you're thinking about, you see a person on the street and you start thinking that what the hell he or she is wearing, it's not appropriate. So try to catch those thoughts, try to change them, try to change the way you think, stop judging other people. So that's why by observing our thoughts, by observing our words, our actions, we can actually find the ways how we can change ourselves, what behavior traits we need to work on. Maybe you are too focused on other people, you are too dependent on other people's opinion, and through the observations you can actually find it out. So that's why observations can help you to figure out the things and areas of yourself you need to work and focus on. Another way, try to be here at this present moment. That's actually what we want to achieve through the practice of self-observations. So try to be here in the present, enjoy your time, enjoy whatever is happening right now, be at this moment. Again, when you go for a walk, when you go out for dinner, when you're staying at home, again, be here in this present moment and try to observe yourself. Try to observe your feelings, your emotions, how you feel, because sometimes we can go for dinner and we can sit and spend our time in the phone without actually realizing, was the food good? Was the service nice? Did I actually like this place or not? Because I was too focused on whatever is happening in my phone, and I didn't pay enough attention to what was happening around me and outside of me. Okay, so that's why it's important, again, to practice self-observation, because you can miss certain things because you're not here, you're not at this present moment. And I want to give you actually the exercise how you can change it, because sometimes it's hard to observe yourself. Sometimes you forget about that. So I have one important exercise for you. I used to give this exercise to my group coaching students, and it's called self-observation diary. So what you have to do, you may have your diary. Let's say you have some notebook, and every day you come and you write all your observations down. For example, in the morning, you can wake up, you are having your breakfast, and instead of watching TV, you can spend 5 minutes. You don't need a lot of time. You can just come and spend 5 minutes writing how you're feeling, your emotions, how you're starting your day. Okay, like for example, I had a bad sleep, I had a bad dream, that's what happened, that's what made me feeling like a bit disappointed, mad, that's why I woke up not in a mood, and those things I need to pay attention to. Then you can always, if you don't have your notebook during the day, you always have your phone around you, right? And you can open again notes and you can start taking notes. For example, you go for a walk and you met your friend, and it's not your best friend, you used to have some certain arguments, and again, after this meeting, you can just grab your phone and write your feelings. Okay, for example, I met this person, and that's where my feelings, how you felt, right? Maybe you were happy to see this person after a certain period of time. Maybe you were scared because you had an argument, right? Maybe you felt stress. So write all your emotions down, your feelings. Maybe you felt uncomfortable. Maybe you didn't feel confident talking to this person. So write it down. Then during the lunchtime, you went for a walk and you started noticing certain things. Again, write it down. It doesn't take a lot of your time, but when you spend like 5 minutes per day, let's say 5 minutes, couple minutes, 2 minutes in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the evening, 6 minutes in total, roughly about 10 minutes per day, which is nothing. We spend a lot more time scrolling social media feeds, Instagram feeds, or whatever it can be. So 10 minutes not gonna take a lot of your time, but before you go to bed, again, you can read it out. You can write extra things. Maybe what have you done good for yourself today? What you haven't done good for yourself today? What have you done good for other people? What you haven't done good for other people? How can you change this tomorrow? If you haven't done something good for yourself, how you can change that tomorrow in order to make yourself happy? So you do the self-reflection at the evening, reflecting on your day, reflecting on your thoughts, reflecting on your words, on your actions, your feelings, and it doesn't take a lot of your time, but it's gonna help you to find some certain patterns. Because if you do daily, let's say on the weekend, from Monday to Friday, you keep on writing this diary, and on Saturday and Sunday, you read through all of your notes, your feelings and your reflections, and you actually analyze those 5 days, because usually after 5 days, you can actually identify the areas. You can see the certain patterns. For example, on Monday, I felt this, and maybe you're gonna find the key word, the word which repeats from day to day. And yes, with this word, that's why you need to focus on that area, right? So that's easier to identify when you observe yourself, the areas you need to work on and focus on. So that's why I always highly encourage you and everyone and all my students to do this practice, to do this self-observation diary every day, and then reflect and analyze your day. Okay, I hope you find this video useful for you. You found lots of great information and you're going to use this, and you're going to start doing this diary every day. Write in the comments below. Maybe after a week of doing this exercise, you're going to find certain things you want to share with us. Feel free to do that, and feel free to leave any comments. Maybe you want me to talk more about meditation in the next video, which is the second method of self-observation. Just write it in the comments below. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.